Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me.
I've been such a big fan of yours for such a long time, just like as an actor on the screen, you know? You've been acting from a very young age.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's in your bones, it's in your craft, it's what you do. Rocketman is a huge film to be in. Congratulations on that.
Man. Thank you.
What was that like? Yeah, I mean, congratulations.
Wow. A lot of Rocketman fans here.
Yeah, but what was that like? I mean, like you're in a film where you're telling the story of one of the greatest music icons of all time, who is also one of the biggest heroes of the LGBTQIA community.
Yes.
Like that must have been a pretty big role for you.
Yeah, I mean, I met Elton John for the first time at the Cannes Film Festival back in 2000 when Billy Elliot, which is the first film I ever did, went to that festival, and he'd seen that film and he was there, and I met him and he was weeping. He was like a shaking, crying mess. And doing the movie, I only really learned why he was so affected by it, because his father famously kind of couldn't come to grips with the fact that he was homosexual, and he never showed up to one of his shows that he played ever. And in Billy Elliot, the movie, I don't know if you remember, because it was 150 years ago that film came out, Billy's father kind of turns up for him at the end, and that just kind of destroyed him.
He really is an enigmatic person. You know, Elton John is like, everyone that meets him, they go like, he is completely himself. He was famous before famous people were famous. I mean, like before the internet, before social media, he's always been Elton John. What do you think makes him so special when you're just the man, the myth, and the legend?
I think Elton is so willing to be vulnerable. I think his music is very vulnerable. I think his music really evokes a lot of emotion. There is a fragility to everything he does. He's so willing to kind of expose himself and show everyone who he really is. And for that, and the movie really is a celebration of his whole life. And he's had his ups and downs, and the movie really kind of explores that as well. So
it is a beautiful story that takes you through a man's life. It takes you through the life of a country at the same time. And then the musical journey. One thing that's great about it is a celebration. You know, there's glitter, there's shiny everythings, there's fun music. And then I'm watching Skin. And as we saw from the clip, it's like the opposite of glitter. You've got Nazis and, you know, like racist tattoos and swastikas and everything. This is a big jump for you to make as a human being. I mean, the movies come out in different orders, but you went from Skin to Rocketman.
Yeah, I was so grateful for Rocketman, really, because I as you just saw there, I was covered like head to toe in white supremacist tattoos for 6 weeks making this film. A true story about a real guy who ended up kind of reforming himself, getting himself out of this group, mostly through the kindness and compassion of other people, to be honest. But then doing that and then going to kind of sing Goodbye Yellow Brick Road and dance with platform shoes and big wigs and stuff felt like a big relief.
When you look at the character in Skin, when you look at this character you're playing a man who did some of the most hateful, heinous things. He was part of an organization that is still around today. You know, you have these people who truly believe in white supremacy and will do anything to achieve it. As an actor, as a great actor, you're always trying to empathize with the character you're playing. Is that not difficult in this type of circumstances? How do you look at a character like this and go like, yeah, I will empathize with their white supremacist views?
It was a big deal for me because I've a genuinely complicated relationship with forgiveness. You know, and like in acting, they always say like, well, you can't judge your character. Because you won't be able to play them if you're judging them. But when you're playing someone who has like such bigoted, hateful, intolerant views, there's only kind of one way, I think, that you can really view that person. They're an intolerable person. They should be stripped from society. I would never have done this movie if I didn't think that it was trying to look at the root of evil, but also in equal measure the root of kindness and compassion in people, and how those two things can kind of intersect and affect change, hopefully for the positive. Racism and intolerance and bigotry is learned. The end of this movie, the character is meeting his son for the first time. I hope that the end of this film is really a call to conversation. A bigger conversation. How do we approach this? This isn't going away. This is certainly in the headlines. It's certainly filling the cable news streams. Seemingly by the day.
One thing I really find interesting about the film, though, is, you know, when you're telling a story like this, especially about somebody who is a proud Nazi and a white supremacist, sometimes the stories can feel like they're trying to make us feel bad for that person, like, oh, and then the person realized that they were doing bad things and now they're a good guy. But the story is told in an interesting way, in that it feels like it's not a typical redemption story. It's just a story based on something that really happened.
Yes.
Where you feel like now the burden sits with him. It's like it's his journey to bear. You know, why do you think that was important, and how do you think that changes the way a story is told?
Well, I met the real guy. I met the character that it's based on is Bryon Widner. As I said, career Nazi. I went to meet him. He's in the FBI Witness Protection Program. I spent a week with him, and he reckons with it every day. He looks in the mirror, and I think he has a lot of, he will never escape the things he's done.
Right.
That's his prison, in a way. The real hero, and I said to him when I met him, I'm not going to portray you as a hero. It's impossible for me to do that. But I will hopefully start a conversation that will maybe lead to a better understanding of how this can happen to people, how, as I said, racism is inherited.
Where was
the real hero of the story, let me just say this, is Daryl Lamont Jenkins. Over there, he is the founder of the One People's Project, and he is the man responsible for getting Bryon Widner out of this movement. He's done it with many other people. He worked for Antifa. He is the man on the front lines opposing these people. He's doing the work that we should all be doing, but we're afraid to do it. I'm certainly afraid to do it. He is really the true hero of the story.
Oh, that's fascinating. We don't often have the real heroes of stories with us in the studio. And honestly, I commend you, because it's not an easy role to play, but I'm even more, I would love to say, proud of the way you're having the conversation around a really complicated topic. Thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thank you so much.
Amazing job. Skin will be in theaters and on demand July 26th, everybody. Jamie Bell.